All right, we are back, and I got a good one here, especially for those that don't want to spend a lot of money. I have the follow-up to one of my more popular videos last year, the Chuwi MiniBook X. Now, I did the N100 last year, picked it up at Amazon, $350 or less, depending on when they're running sales. So they have the follow-up here for 2025. This is the Chuwi MiniBook X N150. So this is going to be a slight upgrade in processing power, not much. We'll see the numbers, although it is a slight improvement over the N100. So don't expect this to be a powerhouse. What it is a mini laptop that really punches above its weight class in a lot of ways. It's got a nice premium all metal design, surprisingly good, rigid, pretty nice build quality, especially for the price point. Now I picked this up for $350 over at Amazon or around that. Again, they have coupons. You may have to click the button in Amazon to get that coupon, so make sure you pay attention to that. But check the link in the description below. This one is certainly good. Now, what I love about this is not only the price. Obviously, this is a great companion device because it has a full HD plus display. It's an IPS display, and it's 1920 by 1200. Now, yeah, it has a little bit of a bezel, but again, at this price point, I'm not going to ding them too hard. But a very nice multi-touch display that even has pen support, although the pen for this is offered by Chuwi is more of a capacitive type style pen, not very good when it comes to pressure sensitivity. So I didn't even bother getting that. It doesn't use N-Trig or any of the MPP 2.0 or the Microsoft Pen protocol like you get on a Surface device and so forth. So just keep that in mind. But it has a nice multi-touch display. It's a 300 nit display, so it's certainly bright enough. It is a bit glossy, as you can see, but very good. Now, it's somehow, for some reason, this is 50 hertz display, not 60 hertz, but it's not a huge deal. You won't notice it. And actually, the display is one of the big bright spots of this, or the really positive things about it. It's got a great keyboard for the size. Now, considering this as a 10.5 inch display on here, or 10.51 inch, I think that's what it is. And then a really nice keyboard, very good key travel, good for typing out documents. It's got a backlight on it, as you could probably see there. A small touchpad, although very responsive, scrolling gestures, all that works. It's not haptic or anything like that. But overall, pretty good. Decent port selection, no SD card reader, but you do get 2 USB-C ports. They are full function, and then you also get your headphone jack. So not too much ports on this, but that's not why you're buying this. You're buying this for portability, right? So it's very portable. It takes up very little space in your bag. It takes up little space on your desk. You can connect to a monitor and so forth. You could also run Linux on this. We'll show you later on in this video why this is a great mini Linux machine and worked great right out of the box. Touchscreen working, everything working. So we'll show you that. I did Ubuntu. We'll show you that later in this video. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Chuwi MiniBook X for 2025 is coming up. Okay, let's get a measurement of the weight. With just the unit alone, we're looking at 0.922 kilograms or 922 grams, and that is 2 pounds, 0.5 ounces. Now they give you a 36 watt USB Type-C charger, and you got the US prongs there. And with that, you get 2 pounds, 5 ounces on the dot. And then of course in grams or kilograms, that's 1.049 kilograms or 1,049 grams for a total travel weight, making this a very portable laptop. We're going to start off with the build and design. As I mentioned earlier, this is a premium build and design, which is pretty awesome considering the low price tag for what you're getting. So doing things like Microsoft Office, email, web browsing will be fine. We'll talk about that in a moment. But as far as the build, it's a pretty thin, pretty light design. It's got a nice industrial look. It's got premium metal on it. It doesn't have too many dings or scratches so far for the week or so that I've had it. So it's held up pretty well. Last year's model held up pretty well. So that's been pretty good. As far as ports are concerned, there are 2 ports on the right side. These are USB Type-C ports. They're not Thunderbolt or anything like that, but you can charge on that and you can do display out and stuff like that, and data charge, all that. It works. Power buttons there. It's you gotta press it to get it going in terms of activating the device. So that's been pretty good. And then you get a headphone jack on the left-hand side. So that's about it in terms of the ports. Now, user upgradeability. You can upgrade this. It's easy to get inside. Just remove the Phillips head screws. I believe there's 8 of them, and then just remove them and you're in. It's got a single fan for cooling. We'll get into the thermal performance, the fan noise, which is very quiet, spoiler, and we'll get into the battery later on. It's got a 28 watt hour, something like that battery. So it's not the biggest battery in the world, and don't expect all day battery life. We'll get into that. Maybe one of the Achilles heel on this. But as far as upgradability, the M.2 2280 SSD, it's a PCIe Gen 3. Although you probably could put a Gen 4 in here. I don't see why not. But the reads and writes was certainly fast enough for what you need this laptop to do. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth here. That combo card is in here. And that is working well. I've had no issue with the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth. All right, let's talk display here. This is a full HD plus display, 10.51 inches. So you're looking at 1920 by 1200. It's got a multi-touch on it, so pinch to zoom, navigating the OS with your finger worked as you would expect. It's got very good detail and in terms of the quality, the fidelity of the display, deep blacks, vibrant colors, good contrast ratio, 1300:1, which is really good for this class. And it also has decent color accuracy and decent coverage of the color gamut. I wouldn't be doing much content creation on this. This is not what this is meant to do, but it definitely can get the job done in a pinch if you need to do something in terms of that. So not a bad display at all. It's actually really good. 50 hertz refresh rate, which is kind of interesting, not 60 hertz. No 120 on this, but again, at this price point, you can't expect that. Kind of thick bezels, but that's okay. It's not bad. You know, this is a tablet also, convertible, so you want to have somewhere to hold and not have any accidental presses and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the touch layer, pinch zoom, all that worked well. Like I said, it also has pen support, but it's a capacitive pen, so I wouldn't really count it as something to be a positive on this. So again, let me know if you had an experience with last year's model or this year's model with pen on it. Again, it's a capacitive style pen, so just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the performance on this, now it's a slight upgrade over the N100 last year. This is the N150 from Intel. And you're going to see okay performance. It's definitely good enough for Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, things of that nature. Basic tasks worked well. Watching movies, Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, it all worked well. Single multi-core is exactly what you'd expect for this class of device. And I got to tell you, it's not bad. It does pretty well. The integrated graphics here, the UHD graphics, are not going to blow you away. You can play some older titles if you play with some of the settings, but I wouldn't get too carried away, as evidenced by the Time Spy, Firestrike, and the Wildlife Extreme scores we see here. So just keep that in mind. But you can play some basic games and on your downtime, so that will definitely work. But it's not going to play AAA titles. Let's get that clear. Again, at this price point, this class of device, it's not meant to do that. Now, thermals are actually really good on this. It's got a very quiet fan on here. It's a single fan for cooling. Now, as far as the surface temperatures on here, it never gets overly hot and it never gets to the point where you can't touch it. It stayed relatively cool, even under load. Now, as far as thermal throttling, it didn't really detect much thermal throttling here, but again, it's not running at a high rate here in terms of the clock speed. So really overall great thermals on this. Now, when it comes to battery life, this definitely is not going to be the strong suit. So it didn't do great last year. It's not doing great this year. It's got on the small side in terms of the battery, maybe 28 watt hours or something like that. So not even 30 watt hours. So it's not a big battery. You're not going to do great in terms of battery life. As you can see, the modern Office test lasted only a few hours, as well as the video playback, maybe 4 or 5 hours at most. So don't expect all-day battery life. You'll have to bring the charger with you. They do supply you with the charger. It's not the most compact charger in the world, but definitely will get it done in terms of the USB Type-C as far as plugging in. That's what that can charge. So overall battery charging, it's okay. It charges pretty fast, but the battery is not the biggest here in terms of battery life. So just keep that in mind. Now, it does have a pretty nice 2 megapixel webcam. It's not IR or anything like that, but it's pretty decent. So let's give it a look and a listen, and we'll show you a comparison with last year's model, same camera. I didn't see much of a difference, but you let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's give it a look and a listen. So this is the Chuwi MiniBook X. This is a 1200p camera, according to that. So what do you think about the video quality? What do you think about the audio quality? So this is the camera on the Chuwi MiniBook X N150, the N150 here for 2025, a follow-up to the N100 from last year. Now, it has stereo speakers here, and they're not bad for the size of device. In fact, It's actually pretty good for listening to music, watching movies, although it does have a headphone jack. It does have Bluetooth, so you can add headphones those ways. As far as the sound, it's okay. Let's give it a listen, and you let me know what you think in the comments section below. Now, this being a 2-in-1 convertible means you can put it into the different modes. You got the tent mode, which is great for recipes in the kitchen, which is great for this kind of device, actually. It's also great in the stand mode here, the presentation mode, as you can see. And then, of course, tablet mode. As a tablet, it's not bad. And in fact, when I was using this with Linux, this was great. Even in the Linux, it rotation supported, everything supported. The only thing that didn't work, and I will talk about in a moment, is the keyboard didn't get deactivated. But I'm not sure if there's a setting to turn the keyboard off when you're in that mode in Linux. But overall, in Windows, it's not a problem. It deactivates the keyboard when it is in tablet mode. And as a tablet, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It got some bezels here to hold on to, so no accidental presses of the screen when you don't need it. So that's one of the reasons I think they have the bezels there. Of course, I'd like to see a little bit thinner bezels, but overall, pretty good. All right, let's talk Linux here. I was able to run Ubuntu Linux on this, and everything worked right out of the box, including the touchscreen. Let's take a look at that, and happy to report that it is working very well. And here you can see Ubuntu Linux is working on this unit, and even the rotation works. So if you want to use it in tablet mode, you can. There you can see in tablet. I can put it into tablet mode. And the only thing is it doesn't disable the keyboard. So you got to be careful not to touch the keys on the underside there. But yeah, the rotation works. The touchscreen works as well. Sort of. I think it's working pretty okay so far. And then as far as the mouse, that works. The Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the camera works. Everything pretty much works here. So that has been pretty good. And overall, you can use this as a really nice mini Ubuntu or Linux machine in general. This is great for those that need it, and it works perfectly out of the box. The touchscreen works there. But, you know, it works a little differently than it does on the Windows side. And just to show you that Firefox is working, this all works, right? So there I am at my website, and it's scrolling works, everything works. So pretty good so far. Now, as far as this keyboard, I'm actually a big fan of this keyboard. Very good key travel, typing out documents, emails, and the like has worked out great. It's got a multi-stage backlight on it and worked really well. So you can see the keys in a dark room, dimly lit environment. So that worked well. Great keyboard. It's edge to edge. And in fact, I was a little hesitant, but I remember last year worked out well with the keyboard, and it's no different in this version for 2025. Now, it has a kind of a small touchpad. It is a responsive touchpad, scrolling, gestures, everything worked as you'd expect there. That worked okay. So that's been pretty good. Overall, input device is great on this, so I've had no issue. One of the strong suits and one of the pleasant surprises of this device. So overall, what do I think about the Chuwi MiniBook X N150 here for 2025? Not a huge upgrade over last year's model. In fact, if you can get last year's model even cheaper, I would say go with that. I mean, you're not getting that much of an increase in terms of performance between the N100 and the N150, maybe slight performance bump. Other than that, it's got the same display, same specs really other than the bump in processor, but if you can get it on sale under $300, I would definitely go with last year's. But if you can wait, this will probably go under 300 at some point as Amazon runs some sales on these. I picked this up for about $350. I think it was 400, but it had like a 50 or 40 or $50 coupon that you had to click on Amazon. So the pricing is good on this. And I think you can get this for a student, a secondary device, having a Linux machine that's full function, being able to take it with you to sites, for if your IT department can take it with them. It's actually a really convenient feature to have, and it really is portable. It's thin, it's light, got a premium metal design. I mean, for the price, what can you ask for? I think this is a definite winner in my book. Again, you just have to understand what this is for, who it's for, and limit your expectations in performance. And battery is the biggest Achilles heel for me on this. But I think if you can live with that, and obviously with that very good price, I think this is something to take a look at, especially the form factor. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. And if you're a casual viewer of my content, why not hit that subscribe button? It doesn't cost you anything and it helps support the channel. Now we're making our push for 250,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 223. The growth here in 2025 is mind-boggling in my mind. So appreciative, so thankful for all the support I've gotten this year, over the years, in fact. So thank you for doing that. If you're gonna buy this, why not go through the affiliate link in the description below? Yes, I do get a small commission. It's not very big, but it does help support the channel, and I do appreciate that. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.